Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on The Power Show, expressing the power of music, so let's jump right into it. Now, I really like this next song because it really talks about life and how it's really difficult to go through life if you don't have much of a heart. And it's just a really awesome song. It's by The Living End. It's called Keep On Running.
'Cause all will be okay, you'll see.
Chick-fil-A is a Christian family-run business. They've been known to express their view on this life. The president of Chick-fil-A posted on Twitter the day the US gave the right for homosexuals to get married. He said, "Sad day for our nation. Founding fathers would be ashamed of our generation to abandon wisdom of the ages." The president of Chick-fil-A has since deleted the tweet. Now, in my opinion, it seems like New York is the state that tries a lot of things out first, like technology and new science research. Here's what I find funny. The New York mayor, Bill Blasio, I hope I'm saying that right, has expressed to New Yorkers to boycott Chick-fil-A because he allegedly claims that Chick-fil-A supports hate groups against the LGBT community. In this last week, New Yorkers are lining up in the thousands at Chick-fil-A stores all over New York, and because Chick-fil-A has so much support and backup with the people, they plan on opening up 12 more stores in New York by the end of the year. In my opinion, when I hear this, I think of that famous quote, "If God be for us, who can be against us?" You're listening to The Power Show. So there's this song out right now and it's called I'm Alive by Team, and I think it's a really good song, and that's the song we're about to express here on The Power Show. If you would like to listen, there'll be a link in the description to listen live online when I am live on radio. But for now, I really like this next song, and I think the song's really cool because in my opinion it expresses the power of life and how we have this awesome opportunity to do whatever we need to do in this life to be successful and change this world. And it's an opportunity that some people unfortunately lose quite often. And I think it's a really cool thing. A lot of people might not know what happens in the afterlife, but I'm sure we do not get as many opportunities as we do in this life. Am I Alive by Team.
Am I alive? Just breathing. Am I alive?
Obama made a speech at the Howard University this week, and what he had to say was really interesting. Have a listen.
First of all, and this should not be a problem for this group, be confident in your heritage. Be confident in your blackness. One of the great changes that's occurred in our country since I was your age is the realization there's no one way to be black. One thing most folks don't know about Howard is how diverse it is. When you arrived here, some of you were like, "Oh, they got black people in Iowa?" Some of you crossed oceans to study here. You shatter stereotypes.
Now, in my opinion, I'm not sure what's going on here. Obama has expressed a lot of times that we need to be equal, and then he goes up on stage in front of young people ready to go for their dreams and to see what the President of the United States has to say, and then Obama cuts out the white man and says to the African Americans that, quote, "Be confident in your blackness." Now, I feel like this part of the speech, in my opinion, is hypocritical because he tells the young African Americans that, quote, "You shatter stereotypes," but yet it feels like he's stereotyping African Americans himself.
As my daughters tell me all the time, "You be you, Daddy." And because you're a black person doing whatever it is that you're doing, that makes it a black thing. We cannot sleepwalk through life. We cannot be ignorant of history. We can't just lock up a low-level dealer without asking why this boy, barely out of childhood, felt he had no other options. We have cousins and uncles and brothers and sisters who we remember were just as smart and just as talented as we were, but somehow got ground down by structures that are unfair and unjust. And that means we have to not only question the world as it is and stand up for those African Americans who haven't been so lucky. Because yes, you've worked hard, but you've also been lucky.
Now, what does that mean? You've worked hard, but you've also been lucky.
That's a pet peeve of mine. People who've been successful don't realize they've been lucky. It wasn't nothing you did. So don't have an attitude.
So allegedly, in my opinion, he's saying to the African Americans that have just graduated, you may have worked hard, but you don't realize that you're just lucky because you're black. Sounds to me, in my opinion, that Obama is allegedly stereotyping. Now, there is a lot more Obama has to say and had to say about this whole speech, and it's all up on my Facebook and Twitter at The Power Show.
I wanna make sweet love tonight. I said, hey, I'm calling you. Red and green and yellow too. Chocolate cream, orange, navy blue. It's all good. What color are you? I said,
David Bowie sadly passed away this year, and I have found this artist who, in my opinion, sounds identical. Is absolutely insane. He goes by the name of Slumber Hayes, and his oldest record is 2014. So have a listen to David Bowie for a moment, and then we'll have a listen to Slumber Hayes.
look up here, I'm in heaven. I've got scars that can't be seen.
So that was David Bowie. Let's listen to Slumber Hayes.
Either way, I will find a doorway through, 'cause I'm falling inside. I'm falling anyway by design. A thought of fools is falling inside.
Now note that Slumber Hayes has a completely different beat and a completely different sound, and he sings very different to David Bowie, and they recorded in completely different studios, obviously, but I mean, they just sound completely the same. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I'm struggling to see the difference with the actual voice. It's absolutely insane. Let's play some Slumber Hayes right now.
We don't need our minds, far from our demons. Always need our lights, blind and outside. When I'm far away, be the bees.
Now, I really like this next song because I find it really relaxing, and it's not like in my opinion, it's not like the type of boring relaxing, you know what I mean? There's some music that can be really peaceful and like, yeah, this is kind of cool, laid back, and there's other music that's like, oh my god, I want to die. And I think this song is really good. So let me know what you think of it on the Power Show's Facebook and Twitter.
Out of my cage to an open door. Feeling less tired than I did before.
Now earlier in the Power Show today, we were expressing the power of Obama and what my opinions and thoughts were on his speech, how he was telling the African Americans, be proud of your blackness. And there was a lot of different controversial things he said that a lot of people were like, whoa, I can't believe he said that, and stuff like that. And you know, On Air with Caroline did an interview with a US Marine a couple months back, and it's up on her YouTube channel, On Air with Caroline, and it really just talks about, you know, today's issues and the things that some people think is a really big problem, and sometimes it's not really that big of a problem, it's just people kicking stuff that don't stink. And that's just something you guys should definitely check out, On Air with Caroline on her YouTube channel. It really does, you know, get a really good different view from someone that is actually in America and seeing it firsthand. Anyway, in some other news, the world's oldest person died today in New York at age 116, Suzanne Jones. And when I first heard this, I'm like, wow, this is really quite interesting. I'm wondering, like, how much of her life did she live in New York? Because you always hear about these people who live up to like 110, 130 in the mountains, but someone living to 116 in New York? It just seems quite crazy. It's like maybe that all that science out there is saying, oh yeah, all the stresses of today's life is going to kill you at like age 60 might be potentially a myth, and maybe it's just, you know, luck of the draw, or who knows. And that's the end of the Power Show, expressing the power of music. I will see you in the next video.